Good morning, good evening, good afternoon everyone, and welcome back to more Geometry Dash as always. So, for October last year, I made a pretty scary, pretty spooky wave challenge. And so, for the winter season, why not make a more snowy and more wintry wave challenge, actually? But yeah, this might be kind of confusing, but I'm gonna use the Ragnarok song for this. I know it doesn't really scream winter that much, but I'll try to make it work, basically. So I'm gonna use the drop of the song you can hear right here. And what I'm planning to do for this is that, like, it'll be a decently slow speed, however, in some points, it'll, like, you know, get a bit faster. So I guess I want to start you off as a mini wave, because I kind of just like to start you off as a mini wave in wave challenges. Just a quick heads up, my audio was a bit messed up in this recording, like you could barely hear the desktop audio, so sorry about that. At this point, I'm gonna just place a portal like this, align it perfectly to the grid, also shift it around a bit more, and I'm gonna see how tight can I make this gap before I'll die. Theoretically, I can make it be this gap. Let's say if I do this, yeah, then this is possible, and I think I'd rather want to do that because that looks way cooler. Yeah, so you can see there's a lot of size changes here, which I think is pretty cool. And for this sort of little area, I'm gonna try to do something like in Omega interface with like a D block corridor right here when you turn 3 times speed. Ooh, I think that's pretty cool. But I'll make it be a bit more fair, you know, because like that's a really hard gap at 3 times speed, you know. I don't know how exactly you'll transition out of this. Like, I'm kind of tempted to do a sort of release click in 3 times speed. So sure, let's try to do that. Yeah, so right here, I'll do like a very tight looking gap, like something like this, okay? However, the thing is, I'm gonna put some like D blocks right here, and I don't know why, but like D blocks make this so much easier to pull off. I don't know if D blocks actually help with making this gap easier, or if I've just gotten unreasonably better at wave. I'll let you guys decide that, and that's why I've uploaded the level to my account. ID in the description. To make this be a bit easier, I'm gonna put the speed portal right here, so you'll have a bit more time to react, I guess. And so I think this will be aligned in a good way. I didn't say it yet, but I'm gonna try to verify this myself. And by the looks of this is probably gonna be my hardest wave challenge. I think this span is possible. I don't know how to transition out of this though, that's the thing. I'm noticing I'm using a lot more portals in this, so don't know what to say about that, but it's cool, I guess. You know, dash up in a wave is something that most people don't really like, but it can work. Yeah, I think it works well here. You know what about another portal like this, and then a club step monster? I think I did a club step monster for last challenge as well. Can you fact check that, editing wooful? Okay, if I want it to sync, then I have to shift it over like this, which makes it off grid, but whatever, I'm gonna sacrifice that to make the gameplay better. Okay, but I think that's all of the gameplay, and I've spent like 20 minutes on this. I'll structure it a bit more, and then let's do a little showcase of the gameplay for the level. Okay, that did take a bit to get like an accurate no-clip run of that. Jesus, this is hard. So, I'm gonna pull another shocker for you guys. I'm gonna make this be a bit more of a pinkish, purplish color scheme. Let me try to find a color palette for this. Yeah, so basically, I want to do like a white to purplish color scheme. And what I'm like trying to use as my base inspiration for this is the mausoleum from The Binding of Isaac. I'll show a picture of it on screen. If you know what The Binding of Isaac is, you know what I'm talking about. But I kind of want to combine that sort of feeling, you know, the sort of gray rocks and like purple lights with a more snowy feel. So kind of like a ethereal snowy castle thing. It's kind of confusing, actually. I'll start by designing this structure right here. So I'll do the outlines first, and then let's delete all of these objects. I'll do like an inside of this as well. So yeah, it's one of these, one of my designs, if you didn't already know that. I also want to add some texture to this like snowy inside right here. Only problem is I don't really know what to add due to the structuring for this being kind of weird. So let's try to add some slopes to the inside here as well. So yeah, you can barely see that. Let's crank up the saturation on that. Lower the brightness, or yeah, sure, why not? I know it doesn't really look that good right now, but I promise I'll save it. With these metallic blocks, surely the metallic blocks can work. When I have a doubt in my mind, I just go straight to metallic blocks because normally every single world problem will be solved by the use of metallic slopes. I'm presuming this is a world problem, which means that this will also be saved. It was surprisingly hard to make something good for this block design, but after detailing the edges a bit more and adjusting some colors, it was starting to come together. Alright, this is starting to look like something. Let me make the object color be something nice. I might want to remove these and replace them with like some grassy details. Like, let's just say I'm gonna take some grass objects like this, copy paste them a bit over, and then just sort them out a bit, like to this. This is probably a bit too much. Put it like right here, lower the brightness a bit, and then put it on top right here as well. Honestly, that looks kind of sick. It adds some sort of realism to this, by the way. I feel like I probably have this entire outer base, like, detailed for now. I'm saying for now because there's obviously going to be more stuff I'm going to add to this. But for now, I'm going to probably call it it. So let's work on the secondary base. And you know me, I cannot resist the legendary black inner outlines. Let's add some even thicker outlines below all of this. Do that type of thing. I think that's kind of cool, actually. I also added some of these slopey looking objects to the secondary base, and they absolutely saved the design. Also, I want this design to shine a bit more, so therefore, I'm gonna take this glow object right here, make it be a very saturated purple color. Also hue shift it a bit more to be like slightly pinkish. I'm just gonna make it be very large and like cover everything. So like this. It's like very glowy, you know? I also add some torches to the inside, which were basically ripped off from Fiolo Dorada. But whatever, they work very well here, and I did change enough so they would be original enough for this. Dude, I actually really like this design. This design went from like a pretty meh to like pretty. I know that's a stupid comparison, but whatever. Let's just move on to some spikes instead. So I did design these spikes, but I don't know what happened, but for some reason my microphone just kind of glitched during that segment. So I kind of won't be able to make content out of the spike design, which I'm kind of sorry about. Okay, I did do a slightly different design for these really small spikes. But yeah, I don't think I'll do this for the other sort of variations. I'm just gonna do this thing, and yeah, let's put the spikes throughout the part, and after I've done that, let's put the block design throughout the part. Yeah, I don't know exactly what else to do, but just, you know, do it. So, let's do it. And while I'm fiddling in this spike and block design, I'll humbly ask you to please subscribe. I spend a lot of time on these videos, so any support would be highly appreciated. And while I'm recording this, we're very, very close to hitting 7,000 subscribers. But I might have passed it once this video is uploaded, so thank you guys so much for 7,000 subscribers. I also have memberships, so smash that join button for tons of cool perks. Make sure to join the Discord server for many fun stuff and other good stuff, and follow my other socials as well. But anyways, let's get back to me making a snowy wave challenge. Oh my god. It's literally taken me 2 whole days to fill in this goddamn block design. It isn't even that huge of a part. And I missed this. Oh shit. Okay, there we go. Now all of the block design is finished. Yeah, there are some spots here that are a bit emptier than others, but that's because I want to fill up this with a lot of different details. For the next detail I want to add for this little like glow is kind of a hint. I want to add some more snow to this because, like, snow is pretty much the easiest way to disguise something as being a, you know, winter-esque level. So, I'm just gonna make, like, a sort of border first, just out of snow. Let's say, like, this. Yeah, let me just try to figure out a way for this to actually work. Let's warp it a bit. And I'm gonna add some more details to this. So, all of this is tier 4 on the layering. And then I'll add, like, a shader right here. So, this will just affect stuff that's, like, T2 and below. And yeah, something cool that you can see here is that, like, some of this glow doesn't get affected because it's on such a high layer. That's a bug, I'll admit it, but it actually is kind of cool, you know? And then now, for the actual snow effect that'll be raining above the screen, I want to do something like the snow effect in Terraria, so let's build that using some gradients. I mean particles. How the hell did I confuse those? Let's say this. I think that works. I think that's decent. Alright, but I feel like that's probably going to be it for this, like, sort of foreground-ish thing. So I'm going to move on to saw blades. However, surprise, surprise, these are not going to be saw blades. I'm going to replace these saw blades with icicles, which will be very interesting. I'm just going to, like, take this object right here, say make this be a bright color as well, and then I'm gonna take some smaller spikes on the side and give them the, like, white blending color as well, and also give them some glow. Okay, I also added this, like, outline to the slope. I think that looks very, very nice actually, and I think the final detail I'll add to this will be, like, this slope right here. I'm gonna just give it the same values as this. However, I'm gonna make the detail be just color 1, but again be like a very bright, like slightly pinkish color, and like put it a bit above the slope. I don't know what layer the slope is on. Okay, it's on B1. So yeah, if I do this, and then let's try to align it as good as possible to the slope. So I can take this, I can, like, flip it and, like, scale it up a bit more. A cool detail that I can add with all of this is that, like, the higher up they go in their scale, the more its hue will kind of shift to a more different color. Yeah, this looks good. I think that looks very good. So yeah, I can have, like, these all by themselves, and I can also have, like, one that's kind of built up of different one of these. Something like this. I think this is super cool. Like, unironically, this will probably be one of my favorite details in the level. Alright, I've put the, like, crystal sort of icicle things in the level now. In some places, they do work, like here. But in other places, they look a bit goofy. Like, I didn't really know what to do here, so I guess I just did something. I'd say they fit with the part though. I'm tempted to make these move as well, but I'm gonna be doing movement and pulses, like, in between the outro and the showcase of the level, because I know that neither you or me care about the movement or the pulses. But anyways, let's actually begin with, like, a background of some sorts. So again, as I said in the beginning of the video, I want some of this decoration to be kind of based around the mausoleum from the Binding of Isaac. However, another inspiration of mine will be from the ice biome in Terraria. You know, I love Terraria. I don't know how much I've talked about it on this channel, but I do love that game. So yeah, let's try to make some mountains, okay? So for these mountains, I'm just gonna try to base them off as accurately as they are depicted in Terraria. So I'm just gonna try to, like, create some shapes, and if those shapes actually, you know, work, then that's very nice. If they don't work, then that's not very nice. Well, let's just see. Let's say this could be like one shape. Now, obviously, this isn't gonna be like the entire thing. I'll try to add some more texture to it. Like, let's just put this the layer above and, yeah, just place some of these slopes around here. Give them, like, a cracked texture. I'm not even gonna, like, make the texture match up perfectly, because, like, I mean, is that really necessary? Because I don't think so. Okay, I think I managed to do that, so what I'll do now, I'll just give all of this, let's say this color right here. And what if the lower this right here goes, the darker it'll also become. It's something, I guess. I mean, can you barely see anything at all? Yeah. But does it look good? Sure. So yeah, let's just lock this together, put it on the same layer, and let's start giving this some parallax movement. This is probably one of my simpler backgrounds, but to be honest, I didn't really have an idea of what else to do, and this works, and I actually kind of like it. Okay, I think that works actually. I'm gonna change the background to, let's say you. Yeah, I think that actually looks very cool. Alright. I do want to add some more details, so I guess what I can do is work on a sort of portal deco. Like, how about this? And something else I can do is I can put some glow on top of this. And so if I then put this on all of these, like, portals, yeah, I feel like that fills up the part a lot, and, makes it feel more whole, you know? Yeah, it's not a detail that you would, like, notice very easily, but, you know, I think you'll probably notice it. I then made a very simple ground spike design, which I literally just ripped off from one of my 9 circles levels, but whatever, it works here as well, and both of them are snow-based, so why not recycle? Okay, but yeah, I think, honestly, that might actually be the challenge. That might actually be the complete challenge. Now, the video will not be over, as I want to do something interesting for this. I want to try to actually verify this as well. Once I'm finished with verifying, I'm gonna add the names of the members of my channel, and the pulses, and the movements. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna do that right now. Alright, I think that's all of the pulses and movements done. Alright. I did do some pulses, as you can see up here, but for the movements, I literally just made these ones right here move, and nothing else. But with that out of the way, let's add the names of the members of my channel to the part. So thank you so much to all of my wonderful, wonderful members: Padre, KirbyaxolotlGMD, Ripluck, NEOntwix, Tiza, AFive, Hymchi, the Landfiner, Frozencosmo, AFive, Sourplant, and Lars Espen. And now, let's get on to the verification. There we go! Let's go! That took way less time than I actually thought it would take. Okay. Well, yeah, I think that's probably gonna be it for this video. Let me know if you want to see more of me not just making a challenge, but also verifying it in the same video, because I thought it was very fun to do. I'm also pretty proud of the challenge. I feel like I stuck to the snow theme very well. I was originally going to do a Christmas themed level, however, due to some poor planning, unfortunately that did not happen. But whatever, at least I managed to execute my idea of a snow-themed level. As I said a few seconds ago, I'm pretty proud of this. And with that, I'll thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that I am enjoying vacation right now. Probably post some pictures of how that goes on my community tab if you want to see like a sort of vlog from me. But that's all I have for today. So with that, all I'm gonna say is goodbye.